Call like Yahweh Bashmal Shai Waha Rakah Double honors to the hopefully like elder apostle slave to be saved. Lord willing stone with those at the Great Millstone Church. On down to the rest that's under this doctrine, to the brothers here at this congregation, Shalom that's in the order, giving diligence in all true faith and sincerity, and to the rest of the elder, you elder Akim, teaching also, Shalom, on down to you younger Akim, teaching as well, in all true faith and sincerity. Um, to the rest of you believers, you men, women, and children of the Israelite race, and on this faith of Yahweh Bashmi al Shalom. So yeah, ultimately to the elect. Alright, so jumping straight into this, going on to be revealed to be the house of David, man. But going into this, that's why this is so important, because I pretty much say that every video, and it's very important, man. That's what it's coming down to. That's what, those that have their that truly been awakened, that's really in on this. The Lord's really pretty much showed you what's the deal, and the Lord says that He's gonna, sift the house of Israel, and He's gonna rebuild the tabernacles of David that are fallen. That's what He has His eyes set on, and that's synonymous with the remnant that the Lord said He left, and also with the elect of the nation of Israel that are the ones that are written to obtain what they're actually seeking for. Why? Because they're actually all the same. That actually is the house of David. And I'm just sitting by the Spirit, out, so-called the temperature done picked up, and pretty much with that being the case, it's just I'm just sitting, it's things going on in the Spirit. We still in the time of unleavened bread, the feast of unleavened bread, and really it's all year round, because that leavened bread, it pretty much is a time where we are to abstain and pretty much just focus on efficiency. Okay, just surviving, getting anything that could be an impediment out of our way, and really what inspired this lesson, through the Spirit was, the elder brother Ariella, and pretty much the lesson. I'm gonna play the part that that pretty much led me to the thought I had. I'm just basically land me backing off of it, and that's, we have to be able to detach. You got to make sure you're able to detach from all these things, man. And the reason why that's so important, because that's a good way to see if you're really ready to continue forward. You might think, because without doing certain things, examining yourself, you won't really know if you're really built or if you really gonna walk forward. But an easy way to do these things is if you examine yourself, and you got different ways to examine yourself, different ways to prove yourself, different things to prove, And that particular one in this lesson, I just want to focus on is and it's fairly quick, seeing if you're able to detach from all of these things, man, from the stuff you have, relationships, yourself, desires. If you're not able to do that, that really shows not only, it may not be necessarily if you can walk forward, but are you really in the best condition to walk forward? Like, are you really fit to walk forward? People that's not fit, you don't see walking around. So that's why the Lord said, if any man, put his hand to the plow and looking back, he's not fit for the kingdom. So the only way Your man will be able to keep his hand on the plows if he fit. He got to be in condition. That's a job. That's a work. That takes effort. If you out of shape spiritually, you're not in shape for the road ahead, the requirements that's needed. The sacrifices that's needed for one to, in order for them to successfully walk this path unto the kingdom, unto life, unto that tree of life. You're not gonna get it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just go ahead and play what he said, and then I'm gonna get my scripture.
It's the 7th chapter. When you go to Peter and his brother from those things, all of a sudden, because the Lord is coming as a and you don't want to have your affection set so highly on something that when it's time to leave off from those things, all of a sudden, because the Lord is coming as a thief in the night, you're being pulled by earthly, affection. That's why.
And I'm gonna play that one more time.
Scriptures talk about Peter from those things. You are going to basically you'll turn back like Lot's wife towards those things. And you don't want to have your affection set so highly on something that when it's time to leave off from those things, all of a sudden, because the Lord is coming as a thief in the night, you're being pulled by earthly, affection.
Yeah, and that translates to what I'm saying. You're not able to actually continue on the path. You're not actually even in fit enough condition. You're not fit. You're either fit or you aren't. You're not in the fit condition to be able to walk forward, man. Which is simply due to you not being able to. It's a million reasons why that could be, but in this particular, like I said, lesson, I just want to point out that this particular thing that you can use to see if you could be a reason why you wouldn't go on and walk forward, because you're probably not able to detach from certain things, and that's powerful. So, that's what that made me think. And I'm dealing with that myself. I'm not necessarily, it ain't nothing that, it ain't too much but you gotta make sure, that I'm willing to contemplate on, but really when you find yourself as far as not walking forward or not, too heavily, but really when you find yourself pretty much in smaller scenarios where you probably should be doing this, but instead you doing something else, that's a little thing that kind of demonstrates that, but Salakia. Yeah, so continuing, this is Hebrews 12:1, yeah, I'll just, something hit me in my mind, I'm gonna just go ahead and read this though, but this is Hebrews 12:1. It reads, wherefore seeing we are compassed, wherefore seeing also we are, wherefore seeing we also are compassed about with so great, traffic right now. But anyway, this is Hebrews 12:1. It says, wherefore seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us. Yeah, things getting in your way. You got a bunch of things that could do that can get you off, that could throw you off, that holds enough weight to you. And you got to prove what those things are. And then a lot of times the reason why they're able to do that is because you're really affectionate about them. So they're able to get you off. You got certain things you have an affinity for, if you will, and they can cause you to be tender to them instead of this truth, more so. Something that's gonna actually last. And it happens, but what if it happened at the wrong time? But continuing, it says, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. See that? So yeah, that just proved a point. So yeah, that just proved a point, man. I'll read it from the top one more time. It says, Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight, and the sin which do so easily beset us. Yeah, you got to get those things out your way. And first and foremost, you got to know what they are. You can't get them out your way if you don't even know what they are. You constantly being beset. You know, and I'm gonna get that word beset. I'm gonna get that word beset. Go ahead and close this out. Besetting, surrounding us. You go into the word.
Strong's G 2139. Euperistatas. Euperistatas.
It says to prevent. See that? To prevent. The things that prevent you. You know? Well standing around a competitor, something that competes with you, basically opposition in every direction. You know, something that opposes you going forward. Something that, you know, let me get it again. Prevents you. You know, but you got to know what those things are. Like I said, you can have an affinity, for, you know, for something. So you know, and you know, and this really comes down to what you have an affection for, a high affection for. You know, you got to be able to detach. You know, when you're affectionate, that pretty much goes into you being real close with something. You know. You know, let me grab that real quick. Yeah, Colossians 3:2. Set, you see, set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. See that? It says, for ye are dead and your life is hid in Hamashiach. You know, but that's not the point. Set your affection on things above. And I just want to get that word affection really quick in the Greek, and then that'll be it. Phroneo.
Strong's G 5426. Phroneo. Phroneo.
Yeah, you know, exercise your mind. You know how they be like, baby, you've been running through my mind all day long. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I know you tired, baby, because you've been running through my mind all day long. That's pretty much what that means is that man, he has his affection on that woman very heavily. You know, and it's to the point to where he'll lose sight. That's why I says on you know, with that on he has his sight on that, and obviously in that moment not on the things that's above. And with that being the case, he not even in his lane no more. He probably not even running a race no more. He probably running in a whole nother direction, and that would be something that's due to something he has. He's a very affectionate with, and he's not able to detach from. You know, period. And that's something that's what preventing him now. That's a weight. You see, that's something that's competing with him. You know, because you're really in competition with yourself. You know, your old man. It's you know, your true desires versus the things that was, you know, forced to you, force fed to you. You know, that was never really your desires. They're the desires of the old man, but they lies. And then a lot of the things, you know, they're not really your desires because a lot of the things you know, you used to desire, if you will, compared to what you know you truly desire, because you've done truly learned yourself now. You know, you've learned most of those things were what? Things that didn't even exist. They was illusions. Or things that's not about to be around. So those not really desires. You didn't even really desire those things using the Matrix. It's like Neo, you know, but yeah, that's basically it, man. You know, yeah, harmonious, be harmonious. See that? So it's completely when you're in complete unison with something, you get the word harmonious real quick. And it reads
Harmonious.
Yeah, tuneful, melodious, sweet sounding. You know, forming or pleasing a consistent whole. So yeah, you be you're real close with something. Uh, Synonyms is coordinated, matching, congruence, balance, in proportion, compatible, well balanced, friendly, cooperative. So yeah, representing together. Look, agreeable. Can two walk together except they be agreed? You know, so that's what affection really goes into. So if you're not able to detach from certain things, you just have your affection. I ain't got to be a dang woman all the time. You know what I'm saying? You so affectionate to the woman though. You know, you have affinity for the woman so much, or woman so much, you can't. You know, it's able to beset you from moving forward. You know, you can't make a pick on if you should be tended to your how about Shemel Shah right now, or you gonna go holler at this woman. You know, you deal with this woman. You know, or anything, your kids. You know, the elder brother was just speaking of. You know, for brothers that got little ones or whatever. But um, it's some heavy stuff, man. It could be anything. So yeah, that's just really what I wanted to speak on. If you're not able to do these things, detach from these things when they come, you know, you're not able to detach from these things. You're not gonna be able to move forward. You're not. You know, except a man, unless a man, entered, to go through the narrow, to enter in life, except he go in, second as the seventh chapter, how shall he enter into the broad? Unless a man enter into the narrow passages, how shall he, come into the broad? You know, he couldn't. But you're not even the thing you really want to see is, are you even able to attempt it, or be in condition to even continue or go on to complete the walk? You know, and you'll know if you're able to. You can prove that and see right now if you're able to detach from things. You know, man, it's heavy, man. So call Allah, Yahweh, Bashmi Al Shai, Wahara Kakwada, Shalom.